All right, the informant back in the building. So we know the Olympics is not just a sporting event, right? This is more like a global ceremony because every country takes part in this event, and there's a certain feeling that we all get when we see them light that flame. Now we know when these events take place, like the Olympics, these things are rehearsed. Now, the one symbol that stuck out to me the most was the pale horse. When the woman or the figure that was riding the pale horse across the lake, it almost felt like a ritual. The people who understood what was going on, the people that was behind the scenes. So from lighting the torch to the choreography to the costumes, this ceremony clearly functions as a global ritual. And this is why I said it was weird to me that they kept the pale horse on the screen for so long, because the pale horse is famously referenced in the book of Revelations, where it's associated with death, transition, and judgment. So it feels like the Olympics was trying to tell us something, especially that they kept the pale horse on the screen for a long duration. Now, if y'all could just go back and watch the 2024 Olympics and y'all slow it down and not just be excited to watch the sports and everything else they had to distract you, you could see that it was something bigger going on. Now, the Denver airport is the spooky part because the same pale horse is what they have at the Denver airport, but just a different color, but representing the same thing. And the guy that was making the horse, the sculptor, he ended up passing away because while making the horse, this demonic horse, for some reason, part of the horse fell on him and killed him. If that's not demonic enough to let you know that you're doing something wrong, I don't know what is. The horse that they call Lucifer at the Denver airport is 32 feet tall. Now, what would make them make a 32 feet tall horse with red eyes sitting directly in front of the airport? Now, if you think the horse was scary, wait till you see what they have inside of the airport. These murals, that's life size, is depicting war, environmental collapse. These murals are definitely scary because I'm not even at the airport, but it gives me a chilling feeling when I'm looking at these photos of these murals. And what's even scarier is that these people, whoever they are, decided to make this public in an airport. Now, I've seen some YouTubers going into the Denver airport and accessing their underground tunnels, and security was not happy about it at all.
The other day, I explored the Denver airport in hopes of finding the secret tunnels that everyone's been talking about, and it resulted in me nearly getting arrested.
You're gonna reach the tunnels. There's no secret tunnels. The tunnels are for luggage only.
It's almost like they really got something to hide in this airport, but it's obvious already. They clearly know something that the world doesn't know, because these murals itself, the murals is crazy. It's showing some stuff that who wants to see this right before you get on a flight? Who wants to see this big blue horse with red eyes before you get on a flight? And even when you're taking off on your flight, you can see this horse with its red eyes because the horse is 32 feet high. Now, if you think that was interesting, this is going to creep you out because in New York, they have a cathedral called St. John the Divine. This church has some of the weirdest sculpting that I've ever seen, the weirdest statues, but it's all depicting some of the same imagery from the Denver airport, which is human suffering and apocalyptic energy. Now, if this is a church, why would these sculptures and this type of artwork be in a church, right? Because on the outside of this church, they even have the devil upside down in a weird collage with other demonic looking entities. Now, let's take it one step further. In the United Nations Security Council chamber, they have a big mural of the world being destroyed and then the rich and elite climbing out from underground after everything has been destroyed, and then they come back out to state their claim on the world that was just destroyed. Basically a rebirth and a repower structure. Now, we all seen the guy, Klaus Schwab, at the World Economic Forum, always talking about the Great Reset, the Great Reset. It's like these things are being put directly in front of us, and the people that's noticing it, they're being dismissed as if they're crazy. But the stuff is right in front of you, so how could you deny these things? They even went as far as putting it on the Olympics right in front of your face. And basically, it's like the bat signal to the people that know what that signal is. Because if you just watch that horse, that the entity or whoever was riding that horse was, how the camera is so focused on this horse, it's almost very symbolic to where you could feel like something is off. Why is the camera so focused on this horse, right? And we've seen so many different murals. We've heard Klaus Schwab talk about the Great Reset. They've talked about using a electronic pulse to knock the power out, all type of things. And this is not conspiracy because this came from him. EMP, he spoke about doing an EMP to do a great reset. And I've always wondered who elected these people, all these people that go to these G7 meetings. Who elected them to decide the future of mankind? This is almost like the Terminator movie. They are deciding who to terminate, and it's not funny at all. But they even put it on TV for us to watch. They put it as the G7 summit. Like, who decided that these people are in charge of the world? And that's a deeper story because YouTube is not going to let it rock if we go deeper into why and who these people are, that they're having these summits live on Fox 5 in front of us, and we don't even know what they're talking about. They're just up there like, come on. We even seen Obama talking about people got to give up their sovereignty during these G7 meetings.
Order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
This shit is weird. The Informant, I'm out.